Is this cheating? Are you cheating by taking a GLP-1?
I also have PCOS. I also was told at 22 that I would never have kids.
Doctor said that to your face?
Right to my face.
At that point, I was my heaviest, was like 304 pounds. I had surgery in 2020. I lost over 100 pounds, but the food noise was still there.
I could help someone else. That felt my purpose.
We're going to break everything down. This is going to be raw. This is going to be real.
Jessica.
This is Jessica Lynn White, telehealth expert, founder of KinMeds.
Hi, my name is Jessica White, and I am the founder of KinMeds, which is a weight loss and wellness brand that is centered in lifestyle, in body positivity, and in holistic wellness as it relates to getting your vibe back, getting what makes you feel good back. And today I have this beautiful cast of people that have bought into this brand, who have used the products that we're going to talk about today. And this YouTube series is called Cheat Code. And the reason we called it Cheat Code is a bit of, the whole social stigma. Is this cheating? Are you cheating by taking a GLP-1? Are you cheating by taking peptides when you're working out at the gym? Or is this acceptable? Is this taboo still? Is this something that people are recognizing as socially acceptable? We're going to break everything down. This is going to be raw. This is going to be real. This is going to be a bunch of amazing women who are empowered. They're going to share their stories with you. And I can't wait for you to dive in with us as we just talk shit about peptides and weight loss. Are you guys ready to go?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's go.
So let's just start at the end. We'll just do kind of a brief intro. And Paige how long have you been with us at KinMeds?
About
9
9 months.
months. So first of all, some of these individuals were influencers, and then they started working on our influencer management team because it takes an army to get people together and to find the right representation for our brand. This is not a pill mill. This is not a skinny farm. That is not what we stand for, right? I think 4 or 5 years ago, it was all about skinny. It was all about thin this, skinny that, slim this. And I think those brands have really painted themselves into a corner because they're excluding the whole holistic aspect of what these treatments do. And I don't want to just say drugs. I don't want to just say meds, because this is a treatment plan. And if you're not familiar with telehealth in general, during COVID, during the pandemic, it became very acceptable for people to see their doctor online. And in the same kind of time era, the branded medications became very in demand, but very low supply. And they were allowed to be compounded at compounding pharmacies. And what that means is the active ingredient or molecules in these branded medications were allowed to be compounded at pennies on the dollar, really. And so it increased access. It allowed people who couldn't necessarily afford these drugs to be able to integrate them into their lives into a way that's budget friendly. And for those of us that are moms, that's super important. It's like, if I'm going to invest in this medication, I'm taking away from our family budget, or people that are on, a fixed income, whatever age you are, whatever walk of life you are. So in the telehealth GLP model, it gives you the ability to have access to a US license-based provider online. You fill out a form with your past medical history, and then that provider makes a decision if you have medical necessity to have these medications and treatments. This is not a pill mill. This is basically concierge physician guided service, where someone is actually looking at you as a person and giving you these treatments. So Paige, what tipped you over the edge? Right? So you were presented with this offer.
Yes, and at the time I was 11 months postpartum with my second baby.
Okay.
And I had been back in the gym since January, because I started.
When did you have her?
May of 2024.
Okay.
So this was April of 2025, and I've been in the gym since January 1st. Me and my husband were trying real hard, and I was not seeing results like I
had in my 20s and before my second baby. So when I got that message, I was like, I had actually been looking into it.
Okay.
And I was like, absolutely.
I want to give it a try, right?
Yeah. And I really wanted to do it as an added tool to what I was already doing.
Thank you. I wanted to make that distinction. So, this whole series is called Cheat Code.
Mm-hmm.
And is this cheating, right? So talk about that a little bit.
It's what my body needed. Because not only was I postpartum, but I had PCOS. So I hadn't even had a period since before I had my second daughter. So I really think that taking the GLP-1, it literally just told my body what to do.
Lauren, how long have you been with KinMeds?
I've actually been with you guys now for a year.
A year?
Yeah, February was a year.
Really? So someone reached out to you, and you had been on a GLP before,
Yes.
right? Was it a branded medication or compounded?
Yeah, I was on tirzepatide through another company,
Okay.
and then Brittany reached out to me
Okay.
and was like, "Hey, I have an offer for you."
Okay. And you said,
I was
try
like,
it.
"Absolutely."
Okay.
Yeah. And, it was, I don't want to say cheaper, but from what I was paying with the other company, it was definitely a better option for me,
Right.
because I am a single person who lives on her own.
Right.
So I needed something a little cheaper.
Right.
But the results were amazing.
So tell me about it. Like, what were your results?
So basically, as Paige said, I also have PCOS. I would have the most painful periods. And sometimes they would last 3 days. Some days they were 10 days. Like some months it was always different. I also was told at 22 that I would never have kids.
By a doctor?
By an OBGYN. Yeah.
Because you have PCOS.
Mm-hmm.
You're just written off. You're
Yeah.
never going to have children.
Yeah.
A doctor said that to your face?
Yes.
Same.
Yep.
Same.
Right to my face.
Okay.
She said, "You will never have kids," and I remember going and just at the time crying to my boyfriend.
Jess, how long have you been with KinMeds?
Over a year. I started November of 2024.
2024, okay. Yeah. And what made you decide?
Well, my story's a little different because I had weight loss surgery. I had the gastric sleeve in 2020.
Well, pause there. What's a gastric sleeve surgery?
So it's where they take 80% of your stomach and remove it.
And this is something, and you're a registered nurse.
Yes, I'm a registered nurse.
So this is something that took a lot of thought.
Yes, and it was a
lot of
long
planning.
process to be even approved for it. It
Was
took
this
a very
approved?
long time.
Was this approved by your insurance?
Yes, but
Okay.
if you had to do like therapy, you had to do PT, you had to do a bunch of different things, have your labs, all kinds of stuff before you could even get approved by your insurance. So it was a long process for even just that.
How long would you say?
I mean, over 6 months, probably 9 months maybe.
So
And at that point, I was my heaviest was like 304 pounds.
wow. Okay, so you got approved.
I got approved. I had surgery in 2020. All was wonderful, great, losing weight. I lost over 100 pounds, which was amazing.
How long did it take you to lose that?
I had surgery in like July, and I would say just about under a year, just under a year. But at that year mark, so with the sleeve, you can't eat as much. That's like the point of it, right? So like you can't eat as much without
Because your
getting
stomach
sick,
is
'cause
smaller.
Yeah,
So how
80%
much-
smaller.
So they take 80% of your stomach
And you can have like
remove it.
4 ounces.
So the idea behind that procedure is if your stomach is smaller, you have smaller portions.
You have restriction is what
And
it is.
then you lose weight because you don't have the same caloric intake.
Yes, exactly.
And then your body naturally burns like your own fat reserves,
Mhm.
etc.
Which was wonderful, but after a year, the food noise was still there, and this is something I'm super passionate about because the food noise for me, like, I was diagnosed with binge eating when I was younger, probably late teens, so
Okay.
it's always there.
Ashley,
Hi.
how long have you been with KinMeds?
It was a year in January.
Okay.
Yes.
Happy celebration.
Yes.
Happy anniversary.
Big celebration. Brittany found me.
Yes, I remember. And you have an interesting story because you had just started
I did.
with another kind of name brand compounding organization.
I
right?
did.
So tell us a little bit
So
about that.
I had just started and I was like, you know what? I am going to be very vulnerable, and I did it for accountability. I'm going to post my journey on starting this new chapter of my life on social media, not for clout or recognition or way to go. It was more like for myself, for accountability
So
reasons.
why did you decide? What made you decide? I want to do this publicly. Like,
I knew, because of everything that I have been through, I knew that if I could help someone else, just one person, then that filled my purpose. So I wanted to not only be able to do that, but I also for accountability for myself, because I had put myself on the back burner for a long time.
right?
Yeah.
Like many women and mothers do.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And so I knew that I said to myself, I'm doing it. I had a calendar set. Every week I was going to do a weekly check-in. Well, after 1 week, I get an email from her. Thank goodness. And it was just something I couldn't turn down. I'm so thankful I took that leap and joined the Kin Meds family, because it's been life-changing.
We're so glad that you did.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your journey. We're going to talk about this more in depth with all of you in your individual episodes, but tell us a little bit about you coming to GLPs. Like, what made you decide to look into that?
So a little backstory, I've always been very fit. I was a college athlete. I was always in the gym, working out. And then, I was on birth control. I was on birth control through college because I had very heavy periods.
You have PCOS as well.
I do have PCOS. I didn't know it then, though. I remember being in college and calling my mom, and I was a catcher, and I was like, listen, Mom, we got to do something.
Yeah.
Because my periods were so bad. And my grandmother had a hysterectomy at 42, and my mom had one at 44, and I was
Because they had PCOS too?
They didn't really know what it was, but probably yes. And so I got on birth control then when I was in college, and I stayed on it through 2012 when I got married.
Brittany reached out to me in my DMs. You
slid
into my
I
DMs.
did.
So tell me how you found me. How did you find Kin Meds?
I was doing, so in 2020, before that, I've always been relatively, I don't like the word skinny, but I'm 5'7". I've always been like 130, 140, size small, medium, and ate whatever and worked out still. And I've never had a big fluctuation with my weight. And then the father of my child I was with for 8 years, we lost the job over the pandemic. And I ended up staying home and being around him more, which probably caused depression because he's the worst. So I just started gaining all of this weight. I'm like a new mom, stressed out. And from 2020 to 2023, I gained 150 pounds.
And so you were about 135.
Yes.
You said, and you packed on 150 on top of that.
Yes.
In the span of how long?
3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
So about 50 pounds a year.
Yes. And especially too, as an adult, you have the same clothes for a long time. So it's like none of my stuff fit. And then after having my son, it's like my shoe size. That's a whole different topic. But I'm like, now I need new shoes. True. I need new clothes. I was just walking around in like just an oversized, I don't know. I just felt like a mess.
Right. Corey.
Hello.
So Corey has a kind of a different situation. So I built my own telehealth brand, Kin Meds, and I have the opportunity to help other people create their own telehealth brands too. So Corey is actually on our internal administrative team, and we could talk about how I met you with my kind of med spa marketing agency. She is a closer, right, as they call it in the tech space, or
high ticket
closer.
Yeah.
And I found you on the gram, and my phone, I swear, is when I need something, it hears you, and I found so many things that are very specific from the gram. So when I found you, we were selling like social media packages, building websites, and the commission basically wasn't high enough for you to like sustain your family. So we kind of gently parted ways, and you worked with a fitness brand, right?
Can I say it?
Yeah.
For V-Shred. I closed for V-Shred for a while.
Okay.
So that was
And
interesting.
what's V-Shred?
It's a coaching program, fitness. It's like the new wave of P90X. Like it went P90X to Beachbody, and now V-Shred's a big thing.
Got your money? Which one?
V-Shred.
V-Shred? So what is
Yeah.
it? Is it like a coaching
So I would
program?
sell like coaching packages so that you would have like your own diet and fitness coach that put together like a whole, exercise and diet routine for you to reset your metabolism was the whole thing.
How long were are there different lengths?
Anywhere from a month to 12 months or more, depending.
And then there's like different touch points for like how often they would, like, was there any one-on-one component?
Right, like weekly weigh-ins and conversations with your coach and things like that. And we were trained always that if as soon as somebody said anything about, I was on Ozempic or on a weight loss medication, as they would train us as closers to kind of grab that bit of information and be like, well, then you've wrecked your metabolism. So my intro to GLP-1s was the other side of this coin. I like this space a lot better because there was a lot of like, well, you screwed yourself up. There's a lot of shaming. I didn't like that. It was a bait and switch type tactic. Sorry, V-Shred. It didn't match my, it wasn't in alignment with my values.